Hi everyone. I hope you all are doing good. So am I audible? Okay. I hope I'm audible. Yeah, yes, sure. Thank you. So myself, Atul Singh, Kumar Atul, and this is my social media handle, Kumar Atul Hacker. So today we're gonna talk about how to build application security team and bring the security culture inside the organization. Right? You must have heard about it earlier. I hope so. So this is me. I do AppSec and DevSecOps, and I'm doing security engineering at OneCard, one of the leading unicorn fintech startup in India, and I'm a senior red team member as well. I have contributed in OWASP and OS mobile application security verification standards and DevSecOps University contributor as well. So this is a bit short introduction about me. So can you tell me anyone from the audience what issues do you face? Can I any security guy right now in the talk who is listening me, who is doing the security stuff inside the organization? Okay. So as right now we all know the application security culture in organization is completely messed up, right? Many of the people inside the organization they don't even know what the application security guys do, right? For example, if I talk about even myself and my organization, so people come to me and they say, buddy, can you do the UI testing for me? This particular, can you check these fonts whether they are, showing or properly in the production of the UAT app? So I'm not doing the UI testing or functional testing of your application. I'm doing the security testing, right? So right now, if we talk about this application culture inside the organization, that then it's completely messed up because people don't even know, many of them, that what is the application team, what security team does, what is their motive, why they are even inside the organization. So what is application security? Basically, it's a disciplined process of tools and practices aiming to protect application from threats throughout the entire application life cycle. And when we talk about the application security, you must have heard about a term called shift left, right? So when we talk about the security or application security, then we should know that it's not a one person job. In any organization, security is job for each and every person who is into the engineering team, or maybe that person is not even in the engineering team, but still they have a responsibility. So AppSec engineers, as we all know, that they are in demand nowadays. Struggle, as I already said, that major companies do not understand what AppSec guys does, right? Many people think that think technically that they cannot convey the risk well enough to the business. So, for example, most of the time, what happened as a pen tester, most of the time, even pen tester, they cannot justify their vulnerabilities, their findings to the organization. Most of the time, what will happen? So, let's say there's a vulnerability, and the pen tester is not even able to, explain them that what is the impact of this vulnerability on your business. So, what organizations will simply do? They will simply ignore the vulnerability, or they will take the exception for that vulnerability, and then say, "We will fix it after 3 months or 4 months." Right? Business only wants to reduce the cost and sell more wages, and they simply do not care about the security until it's done. So so that's how the shift left process come into the picture. So what happened in this phase shift left? So people start talking about the security at the very beginning, right? That time when they are discussing about the project, what they are supposed to build, how they will build. It's from that time they start talking about the security. Security policy. So we all have seen in our organization that we all have some sort of security policy, which IT team after a quarter or biannual they are popping on your laptop or desktop screen that you have to read the security policy and sign it, right? But most of the people, if I say that 90% people do not even read the security policy completely. If there are more than 10 or 12 pages, forget about 10, 12 pages. People do not care to read about even 2 pages of the security policy. So that's why we should ask them, we should force them to at least read what it is written there, what clauses are there, what you should do, what you shouldn't do inside the organization. Application security or team development life cycle. So when we are hiring application security team, at that time, what we can do here. So I got this pretty good image from a Medium blog written by James. So when we supposed to hire application security engineers in our organization, at that time we should have a vision which should be clear that what we are supposed to um, assign for, let's say, what task you are supposed to assign that security guy whom you are hiring. What you wanna with them, right? What kind of things they do. You should be a clear vision which should justify your hiring. Then you should establish a talented pipeline. So you should hire a very good people, get the right people hired, iterate on mission and values, explain them why you have hired them and what is the purpose of them in the organization and how they will gonna contribute to build the product more secure. Sit with them, create these strategies and goals. You can even define roles and responsibilities. So let's say you have five people in your security team, and you can give five separate roles and responsibilities on particular thing on which they are good to do, right? Develop the capabilities. So provide them the training in case you have hired some 2 year or 3 year or even a pretty good experienced candidate, make sure you are providing them a proper training. So let's say we have various trainings on LearnCon, we have Hacker, DevCon, or many other conferences right now worldwide. Right? You can send them, you can tell them to go attend and learn at least a new tech from these training. Ensure team growth and fulfillment. So when you does all these things, you can create a pretty good application security team inside your organization. So when we talk about CISO, so CISOs play a crucial role inside a product-based organization and also in technology. If you have, so basically what happened, CISO mostly did take care of the compliance part, I would say. So they are basically involved in like business, governance, budget, security architecture, compliance, audit, project delivery, risk management, identity management, and many more. But they do not, so mostly they are involved in these things, but they forget that they have another aspect or another thing to look out, which is a application security, right? So this is a CISO mind map, which I got from a site. And if you see here, a CISO's job, roles, and responsibilities, what a CISO does. And when you see here, this is the application security part, a very small part and some corner of this mind map. So what it includes your application security standards, secure code training, reviews, vulnerability testing, uh, change flow, integrity monitoring, SIM, SDNC, project delivery, firewalls, etc. Right? These are the things which are generally ignored by CISO in organizations. So at the end, what they want a successful compliant report and the audit report, right? So when we talk about this AppSec components, at that time, let's say we have few things like web applications, we have client server applications, then we have mobile apps, middleware, cryptographic analysis. Then common vulnerabilities when we talk about in application security. So this is a recent or latest OS top 10 where you can see, if you have seen the OS top 10 till now, then injection was on top. It used to be on top, but right now it moved to third position. And then there are some other new categories. So let's say they have introduced insecure design. They added software and data integrity failure and SSRF. They also added this thing officially in OS top 10. So when we talk about some common vulnerabilities, so broken access control is right now most common vulnerability in application, which you can, I would say, find easily, or maybe you take some time, but you can find at least one or two common broken access control vulnerabilities. Injections are pretty common, but right now, nowadays, it's a bit tough to exploit. Then we have cryptographic failures, security misconfigurations, excesses, everyone's favorite vulnerability, and as I said, SSRF. So these are few common vulnerabilities which are, which could be present in your product or in your application. What next? So basically, when we talk about this application security, so do we really need to hire the AppSec specialist for, performing these tasks? I would say yes and no, both. Why? So when you hire an AppSec specialist or even a guy who know how to do application security, that will help you to train your internal employees. That AppSec guy will help you to create secure architectures, design reviews. The person will do threat modeling, code reviews, etc. Many things that person will do. Also, that AppSec specialist will help you to train your employees regarding this, how to write a secure code, how to they can introduce about common vulnerabilities which is in OS top 10 web or API or mobile CI/CD, etc. So then another term we have security champions. So what security champions are? They are basically a team of engineering, of people who do engineering, people who create architectures, people who do what do I say, quality analysis, etc. Right? So when we talk about security champions, so these guys are a common, I would say, they would act as a mediator between the engineering team and the security team. What they will help you, right? So when we talk about security engineers at that time, how we can build security champions in organization. So first thing is, do not force anyone to take, to participate in this program, right? Another thing, hire those people who are very enthusiastic about security, who are interested to learn security stuff, who are interested to write secure code, who are a bit interested to how to exploit common vulnerabilities in the web application or mobile application, right? If a person who is not interested to become a security champion, then you cannot teach that person very well, because that person is neither enthusiast nor interested in becoming a security champion. That person is just fulfilling a task that which he had, which someone has assigned to him, right? So what you can do with these guys, you can train them, you can provide them resources to learn a more depth about application security, right? So how these guys will be helpful to you. So these guys, so let's say there is some XYZ project development is happening. So what these security champions will do, they will do initial analysis of the application or the model. They can do the perform the threat modeling on that, because we have taught them how to do a threat model in the application. They can do a secure code review. They can identify at least basic vulnerabilities, right? They can help the developer to write a secure code again, right? So these are few advantages of security champion, which can help and benefit your organization, right? Another thing, when the security champion, so let's say now you have built a few security champions in each product team. Now how you can encourage them, right? you can give them some monetary awards. You can, if you cannot give them monetary award, at least you can give them coffee mug or t-shirt on which a security champion is written in bold, so that will encourage that person to learn more. I'm not saying that security champion should be a highly technical guy to perform these stuff. No, that person could have even a basic understanding. The person can easily identify what are the common vulnerabilities in the application, how to write a bit secure code, and rest part your pen testers or security guys can do, right? So, as I already said, security champions, they collaborate with other security champions. So let's say you have five modules or five projects. On five projects, you have five different security champions who are collaborating, who are helping each other to write more secure code. They can review the impact of breaking changes made in other projects. You can ask them to attend the weekly meetings where you can ask or track their progress, how they are doing, right? In case if they are stuck at some part, you can explain more, you can resolve your queries, right? They will be a single point of contact for their assigned team with whom you can directly communicate. And when you send your pen testing report of that particular module, that security champion can explain that report to the developers. At that time, you do not need to come and tell the developers that I have identified these many issues. This is the impact of this vulnerability, right? This is how you should fix. Leave all these to the security champion. They can do it better, right? Ensure that security is not a blocker on active development or reviews. So what I have observed, being working in a product-based firm from past 2 years, so when we talk about the security, or even when we give our pen testing reports to these developers, most of the time, these developers do not care to open the report. Honestly, I'm speaking. What they do, so let's say now you have shared the reports. After a week, when you go to that uh, PM or project manager that what is the status of fixing the vulnerabilities, they would say, okay, have you shared anything? I say yes. Then they say where? Then I'll show them the report that this is the report. These many vulnerabilities which we have identified, this much you can fix. So let's say we can tell them to fix critical, high, and medium. No vulnerabilities you can fix later, but it's mandatory to fix. So for that, they can take the exception, right? But these people think that we, as a security guy, we are creating a roadblock between their development. So many times I have to, explain them that what we are doing, how we do, and what is the purpose of this uh, security testing. So at that time, we have to say as well that if you do not fix and this particular vulnerabilities, at that time, when during the audit, the point will get stuck and the auditor will fail the compliance. So when you threat them with the compliance part, at that time they can start doing the fixing. So it shouldn't be each and every time that you are threatening them that during the compliance this point will stuck. There's you can create a simple bond with the developers, right? So I have few I have a good communication with each and every developer, but few of them, for example, someone is new joining, they are not able to understand. So at that time, they will say that we haven't seen these security guys just create a roadblock between, our development. But those with whom I have a pretty good communication, I just go tell them that I have shared the report. These are the vulnerabilities. Please let me know if you are facing any issues while fixing those vulnerabilities. So at that time, even most of the time, what happened, me or my team member, we also used to sit with developers. We show them that how you can write, how you can fix this particular vulnerability. Even we can do even what we do also. So we provide a quarterly training of secure coding. So each and every time we come with a new vulnerability, we show them sample codes. So start from easy, medium, high, and critical. Means based on the severity level, right? And we show them how to write it secure code as well. So that we do. You can also do in your organization. You can create CTFs to your developers. So even last time we did CTFs with our developers, and these scores are pretty good. Only few, like 4 or 5 people scored zero in that CTF, right? So you can do these things. You can give them whatever code and ask them to fix. Sorry, to find out what is the issue there, so that we are doing pretty good here. Even sometimes what I do, I create a quiz and write all the mitigations of those vulnerabilities, and I consider it as a vulnerable code, and I ask developers to tell me the issue. Some will identify because of the, so let's say recently what I gave them a XSS challenge. So the code snippet was the fix of reflected XSS or XSS vulnerability. So few developers said there is a vulnerability of XSS, but only two were able to identify that there is a OWASP encoding library, and they search about it. They find out that what is the purpose of this library, and then they come to the conclusion that this is not a vulnerability, this is a fixed code. So you can create challenges for your developers. You can assign them CTFs. You can provide them trainings as well if they are interested to learn, right? Why you should become one? So again, so when we talk about the security champion, why you should become one? So it will add extra layer of it will add a enhancement or add a extra skill in your CV, right? So let's say right now you are just writing the development programming languages, frameworks on which you have worked, right? So when you say that I can write a secure code, I know basic pen testing, I know how to exploit common vulnerabilities, that can add an extra advantage on your CV. Also, you can say I have attended these many conferences where I have learned these things, right? So this could be an extra advantage for you to grow in this community. Automate your application security. So right now you must have heard about this automation part, that many people inside the organization, they are are doing some sort of automation. Let's say they have implemented tools in their CI/CD pipelines. They are doing many things, right? So let's say available application security methodologies. So we have few, like we have not few, many. So we do SAS, we do DAS, we do composition analysis, we do dependency analysis, we do manual pen test, then we do secret detection, right? So inside your CI/CD pipeline, you can automate or you can use open source tools to integrate, which can easily identify basic or common vulnerabilities in your code. So let's say for SAS, you can use SameGreg, which can easily get triggered with each PR, and it can scan the code and tell you that these many vulnerabilities are present in the code. So you can go and fix that those vulnerabilities which are applicable to you. So let's say you can customize, even you can customize your SAS tool. So let's say SamGraph have this feature where you can customize that tool with your needs. So let's say I just want critical high medium during this scan. So I can customize that part, and I can get only critical high medium. Row or info vulnerabilities I can ignore, right? Then DAS, so for DAS you can use ZAP or Burp API is there which you can configure. Then we have Talisman or Git secrets for secret detection. We have SCM composition analysis. We can do the dependency scan, etc. So there are many things which you can put, or you can I would say implement in your pipeline to make it more secure, right? Manual pen testing is there. It is not going anywhere because these tools, they can just do the code analysis based upon the signatures provided, right? But when we do manual pen testing, at that time we do check for application level bugs as well, and we do this logical vulnerabilities test as well. So let's say, there's some sort of features. Let's say there is a module in which you can add 4 or 5 members of family. Then you can see whether you can add more, or you can check their, you can bypass the limit which you have assigned, right? So those things you can do. There are other logics. So let's say some applications. So in India we have PII, we say PAN card. Maybe you must have heard about it. So let's say you can verify whether you can take over someone's PAN card or not, right? So there are other logical test cases which you can, create during your manual pen testing activity. Then we have this screenshot is a bit old, but these are few open source and commercial tools which you can automate your security testing inside the, even in your pipeline. You can integrate them pretty easily. What type of security we need to implement here? So an environment where security people are enabled, right? InfoSec protects the organization and operations. AppSec protects the code, right? Developers are very well versed with common application or code level vulnerabilities, right? They are working in an environment where it is difficult to create vulnerabilities. When you educate your developers, when you provide them training, they can learn, they can understand these things, and then they will write less secure, more secure code, right? So in that code, there would be less vulnerabilities. Developers are very well aware about latest threats and vulnerabilities. So for this, what you can do, you can create a community inside your organization, and where, where you share about the latest vulnerabilities, exploits, tools on daily basis. You can ask your developers if they have time, they can go and check these things, they can read about all these stuffs, right? InfoSec teams are providing proper training to the developers and security champions. As I already said, training is a mandatory part when you are creating this AppSec or security culture in your organization, where each and every person is responsible for the security, and they consider security is each and everyone's job, not just a security team's job, right? So then we have this thing, how bug bounty programs can help making application security strong, right? So what happened in bug bounty? Most of you know bug bounty what it is. So many organizations, they run their bug bounty program where external ethical hackers, I would say white hat hackers, test your application. They find the vulnerabilities in that application. You verify that vulnerability whether it exists in our code. You define the severity, and if it if it's exploitable, at that time you reward them some money, right? So when we enable bug bounty in our organization, it would be a bit costly, I would say, because maybe you have seen other companies like Meta, we have Uber we have Ola. They all have bug bounty programs where they pay millions and billions each and every year to these issues identified by the external ethical hackers, right? It doesn't mean they do not have a security team inside the organization. They do not do this compliance part. They do not have security champions or AppSec engineers inside the organization. They do have. They are doing that work, but as we say, one person can identify. So if I talk about myself, so let's say in application, I'm doing testing and I'm able to identify only 5 vulnerabilities, right? Another person is able to identify 10. That means he have a different, the person have a different approach and approach set of approach, right? Through which he is able to identify more vulnerabilities than me. So internal teams, external teams are doing their work. These bug bounty hunters are doing their work, which can make our application or product more secure, right? So till now, any question? always remember that when we are creating this culture inside the organization, our developers, our engineering team, our QA team, they should be pretty well, interested to do that stuff. If they are not interested, then we cannot build a security culture inside the organization. We cannot create security champion inside the organization. So that's all from my end, my side. Thank you. If you have questions, please let me know. So, shall we move to the studio?